I have exciting, and by the time people hear this, out-of-date news. I was wrong just before we started recording today when I said that the new pope had to pick like a biblically accurate name for what his pope name would be. Turns out there are no rules about what name the pope picks. The pope can pick any name they want when they become the pope. They are not based on any system, and there are no rules about that name. He could have made himself Pope Pizza Baller.
You telling me we could have had Pope Optimus Megatron?
We could have had Pope Optimus Megatron. We could have had Pope I'm the Antichrist. Sorry, lol.
Pope Hyelia, just a big shout out. We put a lot of money into this promotional campaign. Thank you for that. It's a season late, but I appreciate that, Leo.
We got people whispering at the conclave, like, "Hey, whoever wins, you gotta call them Pope Dice Funk."
Speaking of powerful religious figures, this past week I encountered what I believe to be the most powerful game master to ever live.
Okay.
I went into a not local, but a comic book store that my fiance likes, and in it I'm greeted with a deluge of noise as I turn to see 10 8-year-olds being wrangled by one like adult man attempting to get them all to play D&D at the same time. He starts his campaign, which I believe was centered around a Scamazon warehouse, and within 5 seconds I heard the following questions. How much HP does he have? What's the difference between a Kraken and a Roper? Can I firebolt him? Can I take that dog? And a variety of other things. And Austin, he navigated those waters. I sometimes I feel stressed thinking about dealing with 3 adults. I can't imagine 10 8-year-olds.
I think the benefit of 10 8-year-olds is that they don't know as much as you, and you could bullshit them. You'd be like, yeah, it definitely has 5 HP. Yep, have it. Okay, if you don't know, it does whatever I say it does 10 minutes from now. I don't have to remember that. You know, oh, I promised you that there was treasure in this room? No, I didn't. What are you going to do? Tell your dad?
Another important question. Yes, grandmas can play D&D.
Emotionally, physically, spiritually?
I would assume all of the above.
Was it illegal for a while?
I mean, kinda. There was the Satanic Panic.
Oh, it's
and
back.
we brought it back to the Pope, everyone.
Yeah.
The people who made that Conclave film really picked the exact right time to release a film about popes, so I would personally understand the process of new popes.
I understand vaping is important to it.
This is the second Conclave podcast I've been in today.
When I was a kid, when John Paul passed away, every day in religion class we had our television on exclusively to watch if the smoke changed. So this is old water to me. I'm now like, oh, another pope? Are we doing this again? I don't. What's the new guy all about? Does he have like a funny hat or like Pharrell's hat? Does he have like the Arby's hat? What's going on?
I'm just disappointed that like we didn't get like a crazy plot twist like in Conclave where like shit we elected the first of a category of popes that like
We did. It's first American pope.
Plot twist. Yeah,
the
but that's
first
like not
alligator pope. How did it happen?
That's a first. It's not like a all plot twist first. You wouldn't. M. Night Shyamalan wouldn't write, and it turned out the Pope was American as the end of film plot
It's gonna
twist.
turn out that Pope Roberts or whatever his name is actually an atheist, and
Right?
we're gonna have a real Pope-stitutional crisis.
Right. This is the kind of shit I want. I want it to turn out that like I don't know. He's actually Muslim. That would be fucking great. I'd love to see the drama.
By the time this comes out, not news anymore, but maybe there'll be another pope. Maybe there'll have been some kind of terrible hat accident, and there will be yet another conclave.
Hatcident.
Yeah. You know, he's going to use his Chicago powers to bring Michael Jordan out of retirement, and we're going to get a 15-year Bulls Reich. They're back. They're back at it again.
I mean, I feel like a lot of Americans would be actually more excited for that than the fact that there's an American pope. They're kind of like, whatever, you know, Catholicism's not as big here. But Michael Jordan, everyone knows who he is. Everyone would be excited for that again.
The only thing I know about this new pope is that he viscerally dislikes J.D. Vance, apparently. So that's pretty cool.
That's also one of the only qualifications to be my friend. I think so. We should start our podcast about dragons. I'm Austin Yorsky, patreon.com/Austin Yorsky. I have a paper notebook with dragons written in it. That's me, Patreon. Austin Yorsky, me.
Hi, my name is Quinn. You can find my manga podcast at patreon.com/weekly manga recap. I am playing DiCaprio Devereaux, wizard, diamond dragon, and most importantly, fashionista. Early on in the season, we were describing all of our fit checks, but I have ADHD. That stuff just eventually leaves my mind. However, the 2025 Met Gala just happened as of the time of this recording. So I have gathering ammunition to use in the future. I haven't had the chance to go through all the looks yet, but there are some truly wild looks. Some people really come to that dressed like anime villains, and I'm all here for it.
I'm just looking at
Oh, and I think I had to get my items, right?
Yeah.
I had to tell you, I left something last time, and I can't remember what it was.
You left the fire.
Austin, what did I?
You left the Firestone.
Oh, the
Star.
Firestone. That's right, because it's not in my inventory. So my current items are the zipper costume rack, the Gucci sunglasses, the Dyson Sphering, Leora's astrolabe, or the dickhead detector, Illusion, Nev's disc, landscape, a perfect pearl, and the R.I.P. Rada bag, but that is currently not in my possession. I think one of the other fucking dragons stole it.
You also have a time dragon claw.
Yes, I have to put that in there.
It's very important. That's why we do this at the beginning of the episode. Some people may say, Austin, we get it. We're paying attention to the show. We know all the items, but I promise you, they do not know all the items. Although I love this bunch of Met Gala looks you put into the Discord. Lady Falconbridge is currently dressed the same way Janelle Monáe is, which is a sort of boxy, non-Euclidean armor thing.
Now, to be fair, that part does come off and she's just wearing the outfit that's on top underneath, but I do like the idea that Lady Falconbridge, by the nature of magic, doesn't need to do that, and she just walks around like she's in the Talking Heads video.
Yeah, the suit gets bigger every time you look away.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to draw separate from the context of the human beings, if you were to draw these, illustrate these outfits from the Met Gala and also do illustrations of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character outfits, I don't think I'd be able to tell the stand users from the Met Gala attendees.
No, it's a perfectly circular ecosystem. JoJo took its inspiration from high fashion. Now high fashion takes its inspiration from JoJo. The cycle is complete.
Yeah. And I take my inspiration from playing Dungeons and Dragons. Hi, I'm Laura. I play Doc Hop. I collect trash. Let me tell you what trash I have. I've got the trash bag of holding, the out-of-date pop-up book of Goblin history, I've got the Lucky Plush Rabbit's Foot, I've got the trading card deck of No Synergy, the plastic spy kit, I've got the tinfoil telepath hat. I'm still missing the left arm, but I do have a dire muskrat mount and an ornate magical saddle with which to ride them.
Those are all true. You're at Laura K. Buzz everywhere. Patreon.com/Laura K. Buzz.
Yeah, Laura K. Buzz. Go check out Me and My Dysphoria Monster, the book that American politicians don't want you to read. It's too dangerous. It's wholesome. How dare.
Hello, I'm Dan. Play Rex. Get items. Gavel of Dispel Magic. Key. Surgeon General's coat. Epaulets. Gloves of Contact Mike. I have 3 hit points. Begin episode.
Okay, so last time we left the adventure, the party was split, and each of you went on your own journey, and most of you succeeded on your basic goals. DiCaprio Devereaux cut a deal with Cymbeline to get the Time Dragon Claw in exchange for a promise to leave and never return. We'll come back to that. Doc Hop, you went to find Lady Falconbridge and succeeded in calming the situation down. We'll see where that relationship's going. Lady Falconbridge is a powerful magic user, just can teleport you back out of the Feywild. Same thing, Cymbeline can just teleport DiCaprio. But Rex Maximus, you tried to turn into a dragon when you and Chorus got into a disagreement. They sent you a mental image of a marching Myconid army, and then when you tried to turn into an adult dragon, you were ripped out of the Shard of the Feywild and thrown back into the valley with the fairy circle of mushrooms, where all three of the siblings are now meeting up. You all exchange information. You all get on the same page. We don't have to belabor that. But now that's where you are, between two mountains outside the ring of mushrooms. What do you do?
Hop back in that ring. Get back in there.
Yeah, you walk over to the ring of mushrooms, presumably as a steel dragonborn. You try to step inside, and you are still standing in the shadow of the mountains. In the valley, your siblings give you a weird look, presumably.
I knock on the floor and say, hello, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be a dragon. Can I come back in, please? You've got my dragon, he's very small. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't explicitly say this, but obviously Ulysses is still in there, which is the stakes of this episode.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I think Rex would potentially try, because he knows if he goes in there to try to fight a fucking army to get a baby back, he's just gonna die. So he needs to try to get in there as a dragon. This fairy ring, that's kind of like a door, and this is kind of like a magical lock. You'll take out the key to the city. If he could use its abilities to, undo that lock.
Yep, Rex, you step forward, big muscular human. You pull out your large key to the city, which is a shiny rainbow assortment of colors, and you put it into the fairy ring and turn it. Presumably, it clicks, and from your siblings' perspectives, you disappear.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Can I step exactly where that was? Can I step through? Cool.
Yeah, no conversation. This is all completely we're just doing things. They say you can just do things.
I did say Rex stormed off at the end of the last episode, so this is pretty clear.
Look, there's standing around talking about it, and then there's go get our baby back. Baby back.
I was about to. I also was going to do a whole extended Outback Steakhouse bit earlier when you said there's no rules for Pope names. I don't know if you had that commercial in the UK.
No, we don't.
I don't think we had that commercial in New Jersey.
Yeah, what commercial are you referencing?
Fuck off. I can't believe you've done this.
The only Chili's commercial I have ever heard of is the baby back ribs one.
Nope, Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse doesn't have any commercials then.
Austin, now you know what it's like to know who Robbie Williams is and to have no one know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, so I guess the Orlando siblings run into the fairy ring that's now unlocked.
Well, before I go into the fairy ring, I want to turn to Lady Falconbridge, who you said is extremely high.
Yeah, she's here too. I wasn't sure if anybody was gonna affirmatively bring her, or if she was just gonna stumble around.
Oh yeah, she's coming.
Okay.
I've got her by the arm. We're linked arms. We're skipping along.
I want to do a medicine check on Lady Falconbridge.
That's above average. I think you can check over her symptoms. She's not in any danger. She just has
there were mushrooms in here.
Yeah. Can I leave her a bottle of water?
I don't know if plastic bottles are really a thing you have I don't want to be a rules lawyer, but I don't know if that's a thing.
You don't think I have the ability to find water?
No, definitely water, but you'd have it in a skin, You'd have
a
crystal decanter.
Can I leave a decanter or something like that?
This is not a good use of our time. I shouldn't have split those hairs. Yeah, fine. You have a plastic cup. You have a styrofoam cup.
I want to leave her a bottle of life water?
Yeah. You could absolutely give her water. I'll say, if Hop, you followed your brother real quick, maybe a moment for these two characters to actually speak, because they haven't in a while. So, do you say anything?
No, and I think DiCaprio's kind of looking at her with a glare. There is a lot of how do I want to phrase this? I want to say anger, but there's a lot of frustration in her eyes, but she is not vocalizing any of it. She is simply doing an action that she wants to do, which is to get this extraordinarily high person a little bit of water to hopefully make them less high. But she is not speaking, she is just looking with a lot of contempt and frustration.
Yeah, I think if you don't say anything and you go to walk away, you just hear her mutter under her breath, I'll make you remember me.
It's fine. When you're in a position like I am, darling, it's always kind to take care of the strangers you meet along the way. And then I'm going to step into the ring.
Okay, Hop, do you come back for the
I
tiefling?
I come back and Lynn comes and go, I hope nothing unpleasant happened out here. And we skip back in.
Wow, you have such a sense of dramatic irony. I love that. So the Orlando siblings fall back into the shard of the Feywild. It is as it was before, eternally twilight. You are dwarfed by mighty trees. You see scuttling insects, much larger than you, going about their business. You've been here for 2 episodes, so I don't have to belabor this. What do you do?
Is there a way I can recalibrate the dickhead detector to be a dragon detector?
I would say Arcana, a pretty high DC, though. That's just
Okay.
on the fly, trying to make an alteration to a magic item.
Okay. 12.
Nope, that's not going to do it. It still points in the direction of Marlowe Cymbeline.
Damn. All right.
Does Rex remember the direction he had to go in to try to find Ulysses last time? Because he will just head in that direction if he's pretty confident of it.
That will be survival, to pick up the trail. Plopped into a random place in a dark forest. It's pretty difficult, but it's certainly possible.
First, he is actually going to just turn to DiCaprio and say, I need you to give me the disc.
DiCaprio's going to kind of raise an eyebrow and say, oh?
I am going to wipe this stupid mushroom chorus off the face of the earth and deal with these annoying fairy dragons robbing us once and for all.
Hey, the mushrooms are chill. The mushrooms
Yeah,
are...
they're currently threatening me and holding a baby hostage.
Are the mushrooms doing that?
We also don't know if Ulysses is being held captive, per se.
As far as I'm aware, the mushrooms have done nothing. They're just vibing.
As I said, they sent an army after me.
The mushrooms sent an army after you. Well, that's mean of them.
I wish the mushrooms would send an army after me. They're so hard to find.
Well, the mushrooms said that I and they were one, so I will apologize. I'm sorry, we sent an army after you.
Yeah, if you address chorus, the collective, overlapping symphony of voices sort of responds in a bunch of very difficult to hear ways, as we discussed previously. And you hear, I'll just say, chorus say, you sent them after yourself. Where are you? You or us? You would just be destroying yourself.
Oh, I forgot we could hear all of you still. Where's the baby?
Everywhere. You're the baby.
Oh, I forgot you're not helpful.
Maybe look inside yourself. If you aren't finding help, perhaps it is you who is not being helpful.
Yeah, I'm gonna look inside your chest cavity when I find you.
Can I do a nature check or anything? Is there any signs of I don't know what radiation is, but are there any signs of damage that Ulysses may have done or anything like that?
I can make that survival check we talked about.
Are you sure? Because you have disadvantage.
Yeah, but quit. That's never good. That's never stopped me before.
Okay.
What if I ever rolled bad?
That's true. You're never gonna roll bad, so this is okay.
I got a 5.
But the first one was a 16. That's the important thing. Can we all pay attention to that 16?
No. So the group fails, and so you go in the direction you think Ulysses left in and find yourself wandering for a while, and eventually things stop looking familiar, which is not ideal. You are crunching through underbrush here, but even the tiniest twig looks like a big annoying log in your way. It's quite frustrating as you hear a constant stream of chorus talking to itself and you and anyone else in the vicinity. It's a constant stream of whispering all around you always, and it's starting to drive you a little insane.
Hey, Mushroom Whispers? How much do I have to pay you to stop being so cryptic? I can go find cash if that will do it.
Wait.
Didn't you forget all of your money is already theirs because they're you?
Wait, is there a threshold where you could annoy Alora so much she'll give you money? Because I could really be annoying, I think. I can turn this one up.
I think there's a threshold I could annoy you until you gave me money.
I absolutely know that for a fact.
Oh yeah, 100%. All I've got to do is, I reckon it would take about 3 minutes of you asking if I'm ready and me going,
Damn.
I think so.
Fuck that. I put my feelings out there and immediately hit them with a mallet. My feelings are hurt.
You threatened to blackmail me. I prove I've got it already.
Is that what blackmail is? Doesn't matter. Okay.
I don't know.
The mushrooms. Here's the thing. I think the mushrooms can understand what you're saying. There are a chorus of voices. Probably some of them are open to being bribed in some way. So maybe a persuasion there.
Okay, persuasion. 9. You know what? I'm going to use a lucky on this. For another 9. Fuck. Okay, 9.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this episode is interesting. The mushrooms are vexing you at every turn. I think they probably say, we'll have everything that you have soon. You'll be one of us. You're bringing your flesh to us, are you not? We'll receive it gladly.
Like 20 minutes ago, I thought you were cool.
We do enjoy a dark, dry, cool place to grow. Yes, we're very cool.
You know what I mean. You're just deliberately ignoring me.
I think when Hoff says that, Rex will probably just enough to be audible, kind of mutter like, "Well, you think that fucking tiefling's cool, so you're not the greatest judge of character."
Hell yeah, drama.
I love making an effort for my siblings to try and connect with them and bond with them and get on better with them. Definitely worth the effort.
I love when my siblings try to make deals and friends with people that try to kill me. I love it so much.
Hey, am I not allowed to have one person that kind of likes me, maybe?
Yeah, Gertrude.
Yeah, Gertrude, who was like, oh, ran away the second there was an option.
I think DiCaprio is going to kind of look a little bit and be like, why is she here?
Me?
Yes.
She's very high. It would be rude to leave a very high person alone.
Is it not more rude to leave them in the place that hotboxed them to begin with?
That was an in-character giggle.
Every time I've ever been high, I've wanted to be where there was a chance I could get more high.
DiCaprio's just gonna kind of sigh, and I guess I'm trying to think, how can I use some of my skills or something to get this into a better direction? I guess, can I use the Dyson sphering to try to teleport myself on top of one of the mushrooms and see if that will allow me to get a height vision to see a leverage to see where maybe I could see Ulysses from above?
Yeah, you could take the higher ground and get advantage on perception to look around.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I rolled a 19.
Very good. Yeah, I say with the 19, you zap up to the top of what is actually a pretty small tree, but it's compared to you, enormous. And you get a look around this dark forest. And I think a thing that was only revealed to Doc Hop last episode is that you were actually in the Fey Dark, which is the subterranean part of the Feywild. At least this part of the fragment is. So if you look up, you see mostly darkness. The light that is illuminating the forest sometimes is just magic. There are just wafting waves of swirling magic around. That is the light, as opposed to some star. And in the darkness, with a 19, what you see that I think is important here is a number of flapping wings skimming the trees. Blue, red, green, yellow, violet, unmistakably fairy dragons. 19, let me say, you understand how perspective works. They, at the size fairy dragons are, you should not be able to see them the way they are.
Which is probably a bad thing. That my next plan was to essentially light off a flare of our location, but I guess if I had to fly to get up here or teleport, essentially, then Ulysses probably can't even see a flare.
Sounds like my theory was correct.
Yeah, I don't know if you said it explicitly. I did catch that you caught it.
Yeah, the fairy dragons are dragon-sized, and everything else is small. Or rather, we have been shrunk down to the equivalent of small folk to them.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yep. There are a number of fairy dragons in a direction that you can go towards, but they could pick you up in their mouths as easily as you could do to them through the rest of the series.
And they don't get kicked out if they are dragon-sized. Yeah.
Well, yeah, mysteries.
I think I actually will fire off a frost bolt into the sky to kind of use as a flare. You know what? I want these things to fucking come towards us. We're finding this baby. Like, if we need to figure out something else, we'll figure it out. But I'm not into being hunted.
Pretty reasonable, yeah. You can just start shooting magic into the air until someone notices, at which point there is a great flapping of wings like bats exiting a cave as 7 Cymbalines come flying this way, or fairy dragons. You don't know they're all Cymbalines necessarily, and they are coming towards you. And if you just stand on top of the tree and wait, eventually one gets close enough to kind of pick you up. DiCaprio, do you let that happen?
Now, when do they, like, when you say pick me up, are they, like, snatching me like a hawk, or is this, like, a delicate, like the hawks in Lord of the Ring, or the eagles in Lord of the Ring, where they, like, you know, they gently hold out their talons, or whatever?
I would say there's a deliberate ambiguity. There are 7 very large to you dragons in a variety of colors flapping towards you. You hear them chirping to each other in Sylvan as they near, and then one of them smiles broadly, flies ahead, claws outstretched, and attempts to pick you up.
What do I want to do with that? Actually, can I use I don't think I used my perfume of of illusion. I want to use that to create an illusionary duplicate of myself that the dragon goes to pick up, and then I'll just grab onto its leg. So I'm not, like, snatched up by it, but I will still go where it's trying to go.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. Yeah, can I get acrobatics to do that sick move? That's great.
Oh, do I get advantage because you said it was really cool?
The DC isn't that low. You're just jumping on a dragon as it flies towards you.
Well, Austin! Do I get advantage or not?
Doc Hop and Rex, what are you doing at the bottom of this tree? Because your sister teleports away.
So we don't know any of this currently, do we?
No, I don't. Did you say out loud that you botched, Quinn?
I didn't. No, I botched, yeah.
You botched big time, yeah. No, what are you two doing?
Well, I guess if DiCaprio presumably said, yeah, I'm going to take a look around up there to see what she sees.
You'd have probably also heard her firing off spells. I imagine there is some kind of audible component to that.
Yeah, but if she's not, like, yelling for help, I don't think Rex necessarily thinks that there's...
You know what? I'm gonna use the telepath hat. I'm gonna telepathically message to go, you doing all right up there? And cast detect thoughts so I can get a response.
Okay, you're all in the same chat room, so you can coordinate better. Yeah, DiCaprio is plummeting towards the forest floor.
Oh.
Try to catch sister.
Yeah, I used the dire muskrat to try and sprint into the right position to catch.
Dexterity saving throws.
Dexterity. Can I have advantage because I'm on?
Oh my god!
On the rat?
Everyone's gonna have disadvantage by the end of this episode.
I already do.
You didn't answer me, Austin. Do I get advantage?
No.
Okay, 10.
All right, 18 succeeds. Rex, paint me the picture of how you saved DiCaprio from taking pretty significant level 1 character damage.
I think the most comedic thing, Rex is still angry, still frustrated, sees DiCaprio start to fall off of the top of this mushroom, just walks pinpoint accuracy where the shadow is starting to grow, holds out his arms until she just kind of lands directly into them, and then just kind of gets her by the shoulders, 3 inches off the ground, and then just releases.
Oh, Austin, I've realized what I need to do to get you to give me money. I literally just have to ask you every time I roll whether I get advantage. I think by the end of this episode, you will give me money.
Please, I'll do anything. Almost before DiCaprio is out of Rex's hands and onto the ground, 7 enormous fairy dragons are climbing down. The mushrooms around you, peeking down, curious faces, sparkling eyes, licking their lips, gnashing their little teeth.
Which one of them are the Capulets and which one are the Montagues?
I think we've established in this universe, Shakespeare is a lizard folk famous for his poetry about war, so they'd get your reference. One of them slides down the mushroom that was you were on, DiCaprio, clearly the one that was going to pick you up. You see this one has orange and black monarch butterfly wings and says, "Hello. We hear you have broken the deal with the Cymbalines. Incredible work."
And you're the other family of the fairy dragons, I presume.
You presume correctly. We hear you all are devious about true names, so we're keeping that one close to ourselves. You can call me Dad.
I will not be calling you Dad, but perhaps Monarch. Your wings are similar to a creature we have in our side of things.
I have to get this out here. I think when Rex finds out that there is a second group of yet more fairy dragons, he just I think he just goes over to whatever the nearest thing he can use to muffle his screams are and just starts yelling incoherently.
Okay.
On the other side, I'm scrolling up through the Roll20 chat being like, I wonder if that name I see from Not When We Recorded might be relevant.
Wait, what? Oh, that's Sketch's stuff, yeah. Okay, compromise. You can call me Daddy.
I will do no such thing. You will be Fairy Dragon A now.
Papa.
You had an opportunity. You are now just you.
Your terms are acceptable. What sort of pranks are you here to play?
Well, we would like to do something quite ridiculous, quite devious, but we are one dragon short, unfortunately.
As you say devious, I almost interrupted you because they, 2 of them break out into clapping immediately. they're salivated. They're making all kinds of happy little noises. We enjoy shenanigans and chicanery. Most delicious. This sounds intriguing. Tell us, will it be painful, these pranks?
Yes.
If he has anything to say about it, they'll be very painful.
Well, you're welcome anytime in our side of well, we don't want to tell you anymore. They all look at each other, they're all nodding vigorously. The Fae protect their secrets, quite violently.
Understandable, but do you protect our secrets? We're looking for one of our own.
Perhaps that could be arranged, but we already know that you're oath breakers, and the Fae take this quite seriously.
What oath did we break?
You promised a Cymbeline you would never return, and yet you have.
I didn't promise I would never return. I promised I would leave at the end of the bargain.
Nope, I do have you on tape. That was very important. So, yep. So I think we touched on this briefly before, but the Seelie Court, the Unseelie Court, the fairy folk, all that, they're famous for their very mercurial whims and all their rules and regulations you don't know. And violating any of that stuff is a whole rigmarole. So I think Monarch says the Cymbalines will be after your blood.
Rex will pipe in. She made a deal, I didn't.
Yeah, neither did I. We didn't know about any oath breaking.
I'll have you known I was kicked out.
I'm a very good rule follower. Hello.
I think as you two protest your innocence, two fairy dragons behind you, enormous compared to you, pick you up and just start looking at you the way that you might examine like a doll. Doc Hop, they're like, oh, is this a limited edition? What's the hair like? And they're just picking you up and looking at you.
I hate this. Is this what this is like? This sucks.
Oh god, are we gonna have to develop empathy? Oh.
I think I'm developing something far more negative.
Yeah. the fairy dragon manhandling Urex says, this one has a lot of personality.
Look, we got a little baby. We're trying to find the baby. Can you help us find our baby? I'm open to bribes. I'm happy to bribe you. The mushrooms weren't into it, but if you're into it.
We love bribes. I love bribes, don't you? Yes, I love bribes. They're all talking to each other. Bribes are great.
Yeah.
I had a bribe once. It was so good. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a bribe. That could really hit the spot.
Do you know where the missing baby is? Because if so, it sounds like we got a situation.
Yes, we definitely know where the baby. I know where the baby is. Don't? Yeah, they're all talking over each other. Their voices very loud and booming near your head. They come to a sort of understanding amongst themselves. They want something. They don't care what. They're fairy dragons. They want it to be shiny. They want it to be tasty. They want it to be sharp. What do you got?
Rex will turn to his siblings and say the entire reason we're in this mess and down a baby is her fault. And he's gonna point directly at Falconbridge. I think she should give something up.
Falconbridge plays a little riff at you on her mistakeophone and says, and I think you should kiss my butt.
Is the mistakeophone worth anything? Do you want that?
The fairy dragons are like, is that a thing? I love things. I love stuff. Do you have any stuff? Ooh, an object maybe.
Can I root through my trash bag of holding for the least something a something could be?
I would love that for you. Doc Hop, can I get a charisma saving throw?
Sure, yes. This is my level 1.
Oh no! Oh no! You're gonna grab that fucking coin.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to hit the button to roll.
Hit the button. Push the button.
22.
Holy Lord. Okay, I think... Oh, fuck, that's so good. You're rooting around in your trash bag of holding, and you feel a pull. You feel like an undeniable compulsion to grab onto the coin. And with a 22, you are able to have enough sense of self to pull away. As you realize that your trash bag of holding is now profoundly dangerous to root around in.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me, dragons, do you want an item that might let you know where Marlowe Cymbeline is at all times?
Is it tasty?
I haven't tried eating it. Perhaps you can find out.
I could do with a little lick.
I'll offer them the dickhead detector.
We'd love to take a little lick of the dickhead detector.
Oh my god. I'm gonna put it on the ground first. I don't want them licking up my hand.
Yeah, I think one of them walks over, licks it, smells it, grabs it in their little raccoon paws, and then abruptly flies off. And a couple give chase to that one, and now there are 4 dragons looking down at you expectantly. Do you have anything else?
Hey, where's the baby?
Well, I mean, it's definitely in a direction. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the directions.
Fuck you.
Can I do a persuasion check? And these guys follow their own weird law. So like, I want to basically be like, there was an agreement that was just made that if we offered you something, we would be told the location of our sibling or our kin. And I've told that oath breakers are very frowned upon in this area. Like, I want to like try to like use their own rules against them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. 22.
Yeah, I think one of them says, "But I wanna," and then another fairy dragon, it hits him in the face with a claw and says, "Shut up, the baby's that way." And like they start fighting, and then the one that was hit bites the other one, and then they go rolling off, taking mushrooms out in their path.
Okay, let's get going then.
Yeah, with the 22, one of them at least, very terrified of being known as an Oathbreaker, tells you immediately. The other one's still wanting items from you. Some begin, fighting amongst themselves. I think one probably starts chasing after you. Like, it's a whole ruck. They're a nightmare. They're in the sky now, fighting. They're fairies.
Oh, hey, Oathbreaker's following. Oathbreaker's following us. Look at these Oathbreakers back here. Oathbreakers.
They didn't give us a name. Perhaps we should just call them Oathbreakers.
Well, I'm pretty sure that might be their true name at this point.
I think one tries following after you for a little bit, but if you keep saying stuff like that, eventually it gets embarrassed and leaves. It doesn't want any of that smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep heading in that direction then and just keep an eye out for sweet baby Ulysses.
Absolutely. As you're walking, Doc Hop, do you say anything about your coin situation?
Yeah, we need to do something about this fucking coin. I went to root around in the bag absentmindedly. I almost joined you in Coin Town. And I think we can get over any disagreements we have as siblings. If I touch that coin and become obsessed with it, and you're also obsessed with it, I think that might be the only thing that our sibling relationship cannot survive.
An easy solution would be to just give me the coin to hold on to.
Yeah, but you saw how that went for the last person who, like, permanently held onto it. Not good.
Yeah, I don't think we need mincemeat paste DiCaprio walking around.
I'd be like diamond dust, though. Quite glorious in a way.
You'd be considerably more mushy and dead and bloodied. I don't think...
But I would have that coin.
The coin would be near your mush.
I don't say this constantly because it'll get annoying, but you do want the coin actively.
Oh, yeah. I'm playing DiCaprio as her working against her own logic to get the coin. She is taking this opportunity to be like, yeah, you should give me the coin then. That way there's no danger. You don't ever have to worry. You can go in your bag all the time.
Yeah, we're not going to give you the coin. We're going to get you a genie wish and fix whatever your whole situation there is. I mean, we have 2 genies that owe us.
Now that I'm thinking about it, look, I'm going to make sure I never touch that coin because I don't want that to be the thing that tears us apart. I don't want us torn apart by money, sister.
But no issue dating my ex.
Falcon Bridge behind you doing a tiny little solo on the Mistakeophone.
Hey! I'll let you get that dunk on me if you can remember her name right now.
Yeah, what's my name?
It's Lady Dragon Ridge or something close to that.
You have no trouble remembering a coin, but you have trouble remembering this.
The coin's significant in my life.
Oh my god. That's not what you were saying when you were trying all my vintage fashion on. The classics worn by the stars of yesteryear. You remembered my name then.
Did I? If so, it was a lucky guess, darling.
You know you can leave at any time. You can exit this entire scenario.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying her presence.
Yeah, I'm actually not gonna turn into a dragon in front of you, beef brain.
Do I know why Lady Falconbridge doesn't turn into a dragon at all?
Yes, we've mentioned before, she never turns into a dragon in public. She tells people it's ghosts. She's always a tiefling. She thought she meant something to you. So I think you know more, unless you want to explicitly say you were always so horrible to her, she never got that comfortable.
I do think DiCaprio might know this answer because she also, I imagine this is something they did bond over when they dated. DiCaprio doesn't remember her name. It's just never stuck in her. But I do think she remembers details about this person. Like, she has always remembered that, like, oh, Falconbridge, not remembering the name, but like she likes things from, famous people from before and stuff like that. Like, she keeps those details. She just can't remember the name.
On your character sheet, this is part of the inspiration for this whole thing. You have written, Quinn, I much prefer a devil to a demon. A devil will at least take me out to dinner before they try to whisk my soul away. There's something romantic to that. Did you remember writing that?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of lines that I thought DiCaprio might say at some point, just to get in the character.
Yeah. So Lady Falconbridge has fiendish heritage. Fiend is an umbrella term that encompasses both devils and demons, which are both obviously evil creatures, one lawful, one chaotic. She has never told you which one she is. I think it was like a running joke between the two of you. You're like, oh, you're acting so devilish tonight, honey, or like, oh, what a demon you're being. I guess if you want me to tell you more details about her true draconic form, I can.
What I will say is I think DiCaprio knows the reason, but I'm making an active choice to not ever reveal that information. For as much as DiCaprio may not really have any actual affection for this woman, she would never use that information against her. She's just not that kind of person.
Yeah. So I think there is more to say here, but you neither vocalize it nor reveal it to the audience.
Yeah. Like, there's a little knowing look in DiCaprio's eyes, but she's not going to say anything.
Yeah. So Falconbridge says, I'm not going to turn into a dragon in front of you, muscle brain. So you're stuck with me unless you want to leave me prone in the valley while literally hundreds of thieves roam around stripping everything bare.
How would that happening to you negatively affect me?
It would make me sad.
Can we at least agree that you're not going to continue trying to hunt us down in some plea to earn favor with Desdemona?
I mean, you said that you're going to replace Desdemona and you're going to be the new information broker, hero to small folk, champion, whatever. And if you want to be the new Desdemona, I can rock with that. I'm not going to be left out in the cold of all of our social circles if the choice is between being an ignored loser or being friends with Desdemona. I'm gonna bonk you and drag you over to her. But if there's an alternative, I'm not stupid.
Rex will cross his arms and say, well, I'm glad you're at least thinking. I'd much prefer someone who at least has the instinct to try to climb above where they are than be Desdemona's ninth favorite lackey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a pragmatist. This is how the game is played. We're all dragons. I forget how young you three are.
Yeah, keep up, Grandma. And Rex is going to keep walking.
With that, she plays a sad little honk on the Mistakeophone and turns to Hop with puppy dog eyes.
Oh, they're just jealous.
Aw.
It's the same reason that they make fun of me. It's all jealousy.
No, it's bloodlust.
Yep, it's a funny way of pronouncing it, but it is jealousy.
All right. So throughout this Feydark are all kinds of items. I think you have found that pearl last episode, DiCaprio, and Doc Hop, you found the Pope's personal sword, although you did give that to Falconbridge. There are more items around here. Rather than just roll for it to be yes, no, do you find one? Here's the question I'm going to pose to you, which is you find traces of a dragon. It could be a scale. It could be, a obvious part of an item that you recognize, something like that. Tell me the dragon whose item you find.
Oh,
I would say Orlando is the most interesting at this point. Because we have seen, items for all these other hordes. We have never seen anything for Orlando and what that would look like. Which I guess is just a wild animal.
Is that your final answer?
Are we all get one?
Right now, just one from the group.
Oh, it's a group one. Okay. Orlando is a very good one.
yeah,
But
agreed.
it is going to be a living creature.
Yeah.
But, Quinn, that means potentially more hit points in between us and whatever we are dealing with.
That's right. We're just gonna throw that dodo in between the next attack that comes our way.
I believe we already established that Orlando has some dodos. I wrote that down at least if we didn't explicitly say it. I don't know why I would have done that otherwise.
Is there a dragon that hoards anti-curses that we could use to deal with the whole coin situation?
No, there are the dragons that you're aware of.
I am up for Orlando. That is the one common link that we all very firmly have, so it would make the most sense.
Okie dokie, yeah. So you're
Yeah.
just going in the direction of Ulysses. This isn't like a detour that's more important. You're going and you see, a trail in the underbrush that looks like it belonged to an animal. So you just peek over a bush to see what it is, because, Orlando collects endangered species. And you see sleeping at the foot of a tree is a black-footed ferret.
You had to get the ferret in, ladies and gentlemen.
Folks, we got him.
How much does this ferret seem like it wants to be friends with my dire muskrat?
Probably not a ton. The black-footed ferret was declared extinct in 1979, but a pair was found in 1981, and as of today, they're one of the only examples of a successful cloning and rehabilitation from that type of genetic bottleneck. There are over 200 individuals in the wild now, from 2.
Gotcha. God, I just know anything I try to do is going to require an animal handling check.
What's my animal handling? It's neutral.
I'm rolling everything with a disadvantage, but it won't stop me from rolling if we do something.
I just need to see if I have any items that can help here, and I think I've used just about everything. Can I use my zipper
Quinn, you don't want to
costume?
vote for me? You don't want to roll? Come on,
I'm just so worried.
Quinn.
Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'll roll with disadvantage again.
Austin, I have cooking proficiency. Can I quickly cook something up that this animal would like?
Fuck, that's good. Did you not give up your chef's hat though? I really want.
Fuck, I did. I don't have cooking proficiency. Fuck.
I hate that.
I have established that I have some mushrooms that I have picked. Can I offer some to the small creature to try to gain its love?
I mean, Dan, it's gonna be animal handling. It just is. So.
I mean, yeah,
But
whatever.
with advantage to cancel out the disadvantage.
Which evens out the disadvantage.
We had to institute you take D4 damage every time you ask for advantage.
Yeah,
It's the
Austin,
only way
that'll
to
kill
show.
me. That'll kill me.
Austin, it sounds like you're the one taking D4 damage every time we ask, if we're honest.
It's true. Yeah, I really am. Look at his little fuzzy feet. He's so cute.
I love him. He's very cute. I just know that I'm rolling, let's see, a 13.
18.
13 and 18, you win. Doc Hop, the highest roll. Tell me how you befriend this little guy. Your dad would love him so much.
You know what? I joked about it, but I think that in the short time I've had the dire muskrat mount, I have, I've been experimenting with what kind of sounds do you do with a small four-legged creature to be like, oh, he's a little guy, he's a little buddy. Hop is just going to attempt the thing she has learnt from her on mount to be like, well, if I just do a little sort of tippy tap of the fingers on the floor as if it's like, oh, maybe that's a thing to hunt. Oh, what is it? Just in the hopes that this thing will be curious enough to become friends.
Yeah, you wake it up with your little noises. It's very curious. Notably, it's not giant compared to you. It is the same scale you are, which leads you to believe the Cymbeline stole this from your dad already. And it runs over, climbs up your pant leg or whatever, runs onto your shoulders, on top of your head, all around. Very curious, sniffing all over you. With an 18, this ferret is interested in you. Maybe it smells your dad, and it's like, oh, finally, someone to take me back to the food.
To add a bit of I guess flavor and texture here, as Rex once again tries to do something and gets upstaged by his sisters, in particular this time again. I think he has extended out this mushroom trying to entice it, and as it just completely blows by him, I think he just kind of slowly crushes it in his hand before he starts walking back towards where we were heading for Ulysses.
Oh no.
While you're doing that, I will say, suddenly the ferret's head snaps around as if it is detecting something. Very sharp sense of smell and hearing.
What does its tiny eyes see?
Its tiny eyes lead you to believe it senses something in the woods. It takes a defensive crouch, which if you also do that and you wait patiently, you see a number of figures walking slowly through the forest in some kind of hive mind lockstep. The thing you get mechanically for befriending this ferret is it has become an expert in hiding from the swarms of myconids here in the Feydark, the humanoid mushroom people. And as you crouch here at the foot of this tree, you see 20 mushroom men. They're basically bipedal mushrooms of all kinds, different sizes and colors. There's tall ones, short ones, thin ones, thick ones, brown, red, blue, everything. Some are dripping, some are clean, some have really gnarly gills. Everyone's welcome in the mushroom swarm.
I inherently trust this little guy. I'm gonna be just one meerkat in the hall.
Yeah.
You're alert and looking and looking around. Oh, I'll be alert and look around too.
Yeah, if you take meerkat posture, Falconbridge takes meerkat posture and then looks over to DiCaprio as if to say, "Do you want to join us as meerkats?"
As enticing as that does sound, I think DiCaprio's focus is on Rex right now. And knowing that if she says anything, she just makes it worse, but trying to figure out a way to comfort him in some way without upsetting him.
I think Rex, for his part, is just trying to lock back into the situation at hand. He will stay down, hiding or whatever while we wait for these guys to pass. Or actually, he will whisper to them. If I remember right, they said that they actively had him with Ulysses with them at this point. Does it look like they're heading towards somewhere in particular? I guess you said they're all traveling in a row. And he will just suggest we can just follow them and see if that brings us to him.
What do you reckon, little guy? Is that a good plan? Do your animal instincts lead us well?
Fuck no.
Yeah, the ferret just seems excited about your body warmth.
Yeah, I think DiCaprio is ultimately going to not say anything for the moment, but there's she is observing it and clearly thinking deeply about something to the point where if everyone's dropping down to avoid, she's a split second behind in dropping down to avoid these guys. I don't know if that gets me seen or something like that, but I she's very clearly lost in a different thought when everybody else is reacting to the mushroom folk. Yeah,
I don't think Rex would notice at this point, besides maybe yanking her down if she's not moving fast enough. He's much too focused on deal with missing baby. Man, these guys are drippy.
I just posted a picture of the myconid swarm in their roll 20. They're all pretty gross. They're cool. I mean, I like them, but yeah, some of them have really wide heads, like the cap of a mushroom. Some of them are real pointy. Some of them are just little orbs rolling around. They come in a variety of sizes and shapes.
We should just kill them and bring them to Andronicus for pizza. Boom, right on there. Just bring all their bodies.
You're already getting a stat upgrade cookie for mushrooms, Rex. So that's happening. I penciled it in. Pizza party.
What about an entire guy though? Surely.
We have to put a cap, or you're gonna max all your stats.
Damn. Yeah, but Rex's vote is still to follow them.
I'm not opposed to that.
I do have a use of ice knife left. Yeah, I guess we'll follow. I shouldn't risk using that right now when, even if we kill them, I guess it doesn't really get us anything.
The entire time we're following, I am watching our little guy to be like, are we too close? Is this a safe distance? Again, you know all, tiny little guy.
Yeah, the ferret grooms you for small mites and so forth, because you're a lizard lady. You got this, probably.
Eventually, I'm going to have to return this friend to Dad, but I do kind of just want this to be my new best friend.
The dire muskrat huffs enviously.
Hey, I can have multiple friends. I'm scritching them both simultaneously behind their ears.
Aw. You fall in line at a distance behind the myconid swarm. It's basically like pretending to be a zombie as you follow a horde of zombies. You are going in the direction that the monarch told you Ulysses is in, and I think as you follow behind here, nothing else attacks you or jumps out at you, but you begin hearing the distant sound of very high voices that Discord always cuts off when I try to use, but let's just say Sylvan speech that is distinctly fairy dragon.
May I use my zipper costume rack to give us all like mushroom outfits to make us look like we're kind of part of this group?
Absolutely, I love that.
Yeah, so I wanna reach in and pull out the mushroom dress I wore before, and then some kind of other mushroom themed ensemble that doesn't really quite work. It's quite garish and odd, but one with sleeveless for Rex and one that looks like it's covered in garbage for Hop. And I don't mean that as an insult. I assume that that's what she would want.
Yeah. I think if you follow, actually, can I get deception with advantage so that during this whole next scene, you all will just be disguised as mushroom people. We don't have to worry about it.
Is that everyone deception with advantage?
Correct.
Oh my God, 7.
14.
14.
14 and 14, the group passes. You blend it well enough. It wouldn't be perfect if you tried something bold. You would be discovered, but you can just march along with them. And remember, you're also in the chorus, as it were. I'm putting that in scare quotes. You're in the mental chorus because you breathed in spores. So you actually fit in quite nicely in your fungi-themed outfits as you follow these myconids to where they're going, which is, you see, the top of a mountain, which has some kind of meeting going on. You see 3 Cymbalines, blue, green, red, chattering in Sylvan loudly, and in between them, you see on the ground tiny Ulysses, especially compared to them, tiny little uranium dragon, your good friend, and the Cymbalines seem to be arguing with the myconids about Ulysses.
I would just like to say for the record, Austin, I'm about 5 minutes away from attempting to Rex pill the hive mind and bully them into a different way of thinking.
Okay, yeah, I mean, anything's possible. This little leopard gecko guy is very excited, yelling, back at them. It's kind of hard to hear, but whatever he's, saying, like, yeah, definitely, or like, no, that sucks, fuck you. Just like vacillating wildly. Whoever spoke last, he is engaging with. They aren't like, kicking him or anything.
Does he seem like agitated or scared, or like what's his stance to what's happening?
Insight, yeah.
Okay. That would have been great. 12.
12 with an average. I think he probably has strong and changing feelings about all of these people. He is probably hopped up on spores, and probably, as the conversation evolves, he's probably like, yeah, you're all right. Yeah, we can definitely be friends. Actually, fuck you. Suck my dick. I hate you.
Oh, God. Last arc, the baby was drunk. Now the baby's high. Oh, no.
Quinn just asked me in the Discord if Marlowe was huge, and I want to say that when you approached the pond where you just talked to Marlowe, he was a reflection upside down in the pond, which was him not facing you directly, so you wouldn't physically harm him, but also had the side effect of hiding the fact that he was also enormous. If he had shown up physically, yeah. So all the fairy. Here's the thing: anything native to this part of the Feydark appears to be enormous. The black-footed ferret and Ulysses and the Orlando siblings, all of you are tiny by comparison because of whatever inherent magic of the Fey is what is happening there.
God, I want to pickpocket him so bad.
But yeah, so if as you're watching, there's myconids milling all around this hill. Maybe these people showed up as backup to some kind of argument. There seems to be some disagreement about what to do with this uranium dragon.
How close do you think we could get to this conversation? If we keep inching closer, is there a point where we feel like we're going to be stepping out of our disguise range at this point?
Yeah, you can go to the base of the hill with the milling zombie-like crowds of fungi, but if you tried to make a break up to where the conversation is, if you tried to join the scene, we would have stealth rolls.
From a distance, I'm gonna have Hop use telepathy to contact the little baby and be like, don't make it obvious that you can hear me in your head, but maybe just give your wings a little flap if you can hear me.
Yeah, Ulysses does a little flap, and you hear responding in the tinfoil hat, just, Dr. Ant, I am going to have the mushroom small folk, but the Cymbalines do not want me to have them. They are mine by right.
They are yours by right, you say?
Yes, I have decided this. I am strong like Rex.
Are we all in this AOL chat, or is this just a hot?
I'll get you looped in on the group chat.
This item is very powerful. I was like, yeah, you can have a tinfoil hat, Laura. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they realize they're your small folk, Ulysses. They seem to think that they might be in charge of you.
They will realize it when I crush them under my mighty claws. I have been practicing on the dire tardigrade.
Unfortunately, sweet Ulysses, I believe these mushrooms already follow a hive mind. I don't know if they'll follow you without you actually being a more attractive option to them.
I need a small folk. It's not fair. Everyone else has a small folk.
Usually small folk come to serve you once you established yourself, darling. No one starts with them.
I am. I'm built different.
You're actually not. You're actually built very similar in a lot of ways to Rex. You just have a nuke for a breath.
But yeah, I think with these rolls and this item use, you have determined what's going on here, which is the myconids try to pull Ulysses into their hive mind, and he said, actually, I'm their leader. They're my small folk. And the Cymbalines are trying to say, no, dog, you do not want any of this. They will fill you with spores. And this is the fight that's happening. Not the physical fight. This is the disagreement.
Okay. Hey, buddy. Next time we have, some quiet time, I'll help you find a small folk horde. But...
Oh, I need a horde, too. Ant Hop, I don't have a horde. I'm pathetic. I'm a loser.
Yeah, sorry. Look, I'll help you find small folk. I'll help you find a horde. You don't want these as a horde. They're full of stuff that's going to make you cough, make you slowly lose your mind. They're not a fun small folk.
Ulysses, I think we both know you hate philosophy.
I'm so stupid. I'm so useless. I don't have a horde. I don't have small folk. All I have is my breath weapon and my fat ass.
Hey, you could hoard having a fat ass.
You're right. I could. Thank you, Doc.
You could find every fat ass in the world and make them your hoard.
This is what people thought Orlando's hoard was originally. They're like, does he collect bad bitches?
I think I don't know what these spores are doing to him, but his brain chemistry was not meant for this.
Yeah, I should say he is, obviously. I didn't mean for him to get drunk last time and high this time, but listen, this is what's going on. Sorry.
Hey, Hop's gonna look through her own magical equipment and go, you know what? How's about this for a suggestion? You could hoard hats. I could give you your first hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a d20. So a dragon's hoard is a very special, important thing. The compulsion has to come naturally. You can't just will himself to like hats. But maybe if he crits, I'm gonna roll a d20. Oh, Quinn, you wanna
Wave
get in here?
the Navideral's disc.
I almost think DiCaprio would step in to be like, absolutely not. You do not just give him an item to start it. So I know it seems very counterintuitive to what we're doing here, but I do think there's a part of her that like wants to kind of interject to be like, that is an awful way for young Ulysses to start his hoard.
Okay. Well, how about this? Next time we got some free time, come look through the trash with me and see if anything in there sparks joy. Not because it's trash, but like there might be something in the trash that makes you go, ooh, if this wasn't trash, it would be my thing.
That is very reasonable, Aunt Dr. Hop. However, I am going to crash out.
Important question, Austin.
Yeah.
Of the Cymbalines that are up there, is Marlowe Cymbeline up there?
No, not right now, but I like where your head's at. But
Rex will chime in and say, Ulysses, there's tons of stolen magical items all over this this God's forsaken hellhole of a reality shard. We can find something for you to steal.
Hop is really tempted to just start mentally listing things and see whether any of them get this baby dragon to be like, oh, I like those.
I am going to roll performance for Ulysses to keep his to see if he has kept his body language normal, because he is having 3 conversations right now: one with the siblings, one with the Myconids, and one with the Cymbeline. So let's see if he pulls that off.
Now he should have advantage because he's obviously incredibly high, and that's going to give him a lot of cover.
You take D4 damage, Dad.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm kidding. 5. He mega fails.
With advantage.
Just to say, he was trying to speak through the tinfoil hat magic and accidentally answered in the chorus group chat. So all the Myconids begin looking around. They're like, we know you're here because we're here and we're all here together. And then you hear a voice in the background saying, knock it off, it's annoying.
I want to pass Rex an item. I don't know if Rex has like a bag or anything like that.
He just inserts it between his pecs. It's basically an item. It's a deep valley.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna throw an item into your bag and just say, use this if the time comes to it. And I'm going to just start like very boldly kind of like catwalk walking towards this table. Like I'm giving up the disguise at this point for myself.
Oh, okay. You're just walking up.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm making it a point now. Like if I was trying to disguise myself more Myconid, now it's just very clearly I'm like the sun elf wearing a Myconoid themed dress.
Is the vibe here for us to stay back while you do this? Also, what did you throw at me?
It's in your bag, so I think you can assume what it might be later. But she is basically putting herself forward on this. Like he's like, she could tell Ulysses is in a bad situation, so she's taking the heat to herself instead.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You begin walking towards the fairy dragons. All 3 of them turn and look at you as you reveal yourself. All the Myconids are aware of you now, and there is just an overwhelming chatter in your head. 1,000 people are trying to talk to you at once. It fucking sucks. Constitution saving throw, DiCaprio.
Yeah.
They're not even hitting you. They're not fighting you. It's just literally being around them is so annoying you have to roll. 6 is not good. It is overwhelming. You feel like tears well up in your eye. It just feels like 1,000 people are yelling at you simultaneously. Can you do me a favor, Quinn?
Mm-hmm.
What? Can you tell me about an item that flashes in your mind? It's like a comfort. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like you might be driven to your knees in anguish from all the sounds. You feel the tears coming, and suddenly an item flashes in your mind, a vision of something. I don't know what it is. You tell me.
Is it the coin, Austin? Do I really want the coin to put out all the silence? To silence all the noise?
I like where your head's at. I'm saying there is an item in your mind that you've never seen before in real life. It's not a thing that you've ever laid eyes on. It just comes to you now.
And this is something DiCaprio would want? Like, would bring her comfort? Or you're asking Quinn? Because there's going to be two different answers. Mine's going to be like a Jackie Chan talisman of some kind.
No, it's something that DiCaprio wants very badly. That would calm you, it would soothe you. If you could hold it in your hand right now, it would be worth it for all these people to be in your ears.
Can I make a pitch that I think might fit?
Absolutely.
Hand mirror with broken glass.
That would be very ironic because I was planning to kill all the Cymbeline and trap them in a cursed mirror. So I do think there might be maybe not a broken mirror, but I think a mirror with a very visible crack through it that still serves its purpose, but it is damaged.
That's basically what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel a very strong desire for this mirror. I think you mentioned this once. It really stuck out to me. I'm curious if our audience remembers you saying that you were going to, quote, force the Cymbeline you stole from you to kill their family and then bind all of them to a mirror. Is that how you phrased it?
Yeah, she was angry at the time, though. You know, we all get upset. You know, we say things we don't mean.
You know, beauty and genocide and all that stuff happens.
Yeah. For one thing is this image of the mirror that briefly flashes in your mind, it does give you comfort. You don't take any damage from this psychic assault, but you are in the chorus group chat. And I think the Cymbelines become aware of the thing you were considering doing. Not that you're going to do it now, but like if you thought they're like, oh, I made a deal with Marlowe, it's fine. They don't have to know about all that stuff. They now know that you were like, I am going to get them all to kill each other.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so the three enormous fairy dragons looked down at you. They are level 20, and you are level 1.
I'm going to keep walking up towards Ulysses.
Hell yeah, that rocks.
And I'm going to, and while I'm doing it, I want to like look him in the eyes and kind of like be speaking directly to him. I think it's like very overwhelming for him at this age to be dealing with all these voices. So I'm like, it's specifically not in the group chat. I'm just like talking. I'm like, everything's all right, Ulysses. You know, just try to get your bearings. You know, I'm trying to comfort him in this moment.
Aw, yeah, it's great. Ulysses says, thank you, Aunt DiCaprio. I know you're the hero of the small folks, and you killed your mom, so you're strong and cool. And I believe you. Even though all these fairy dragons could definitely eat you right now.
Perhaps, but it's more important right now is to get you back home, young Ulysses, because you have a very grand future for yourself as a dragon.
But I don't want to go home. I want small folk. I want a horde.
Well, those are things you have to work with in time, darling. It doesn't happen immediately. We live for aeons, dear. It takes a while to get things started. And sometimes you have to live with a lot of pain to get things started. But it's worth it once you can find something that truly speaks to you.
You said that in a way that sounded smart, but I don't want any pain, so maybe it wasn't smart.
I've never really considered myself the smartest one, but I suppose of the siblings I might be. Hop as a doctorate, so I guess perhaps she is. But regardless, the fact is it's not about intelligence, really, Ulysses. It's
Rex yelling mutedly from the distance, no pain, no gain, flex.
Yeah, you were in consideration.
The more that Hop is listening, the more she's like, I wonder if this baby's horde is just going to be like ADHD meds or something. This is one impatient little baby.
This all makes a lot of sense, but I'm very thirsty. I want to lay down, and I do want a small. I'll just take a small folk. Ulysses turns and grabs a small myconid in his jaws and tries to pick it up.
I'm going to keep walking at my pace, but I am going to like hold up my hands like, Ulysses, that is not the way we want to do things here. Remember where you are. We are considered guests in this area, and a dragon must have decorum, if anything.
At this point, the Cymbalines get down near your face with their mighty jaws, and one of them says, "You broke an agreement with one of us, and you think you can just come in here and start telling people what to do and what's going on? Maybe we want Ulysses. He's not your baby. He's our baby now."
If there is a punishment that comes with being an oathbreaker, I will accept it when the time comes. However, when my kin is still in this world, I'm going to get them out of here.
Oh? But you're so small. And we see what you do to small things, and what you want to do to small things.
I'm still learning to navigate a very complicated world. This is not the thought I have. I don't want to put any of you in mirrors anymore. That is an anger that perhaps I need to apologize for, but right now I'm more concerned with the young one.
Yeah, the other Cymbeline, the one of the ones who wasn't talking to you, sniffs you deeply for reasons that are unclear to you. Before anything else happens here, Rex, Maximus, Doc Hop, you're in the crowd of myconids pretending to be a mushroom. Anything you want to say or do? Lady Falconbridge is also here, pretending to be a mushroom. She is facing the wrong way.
I'm pretending to be a myconid, but I am a myconid that is on a dire muskrat. A very unsuspicious thing for a...
Oh, he's dressed up as a mushroom too.
To be. Yeah. I am prepared for if this goes south to just sprint, grab baby, and sprint away. Like, I'm on the starting blocks ready to run.
Sure.
You know, one little cast of Expeditious Retreat, and I'd be absolutely zooming.
Personally, I think kidnapping a small myconid's a pretty good way to start a small folk conglomerate, but that's just me.
He takes after you.
Yeah, I truly hate this place so much. But Rex, God, I think the little shithead part of him sees that he's small and sees these big fucking Cymbalines distracted, and he just wants to pickpocket him so bad. Austin, how do I technically have sleight of hand advantage to get this back down to a regular roll. Austin, can I try to rob him?
If you want to pickpocket the Cymbalines, I insist you do so. What could be funnier?
Okay, well, let's see what this flat D20 does. 6. Okay, well, I failed.
I think, yeah, these enormous dragons, they're the size of ancient dragons from your perspective. You sneak up in your myconid costume and you try to reach into some kind of satchel that is hanging off of the arms of one of the Cymbalines. You reach in ever so delicately, and as you roll a 6, its head whips around, looks you in the eye, and it unleashes its euphoria breath. The dragon exhales a puff of euphoria gas at one creature within 5 feet of it. The target must succeed on a, none of your business, wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wisdom, fuck.
The second this begins, before it even plays out, I am casting Expeditious Retreat on myself already to start grabbing that baby.
Yet another 6. This has been like half of my rolls tonight.
Yeah, so Rex, you get blasted full in the face with a stream of pink gas. I'm going to roll a d4 because there's 2 things that could happen. Either the target takes no action, or the target... either the target uses all of its movement to move in a random direction, or the target doesn't move. So either you become catatonic or wander off. 1. That is, the target takes no action and uses all of its movement to move in a random direction. Bye, Rex.
Hi, I'm Cymbeline. I love robbing people. This is pretty great. That's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You people fucking suck.
That's
Yeah,
what you sound like.
Hop is taking this moment of distraction to
Also,
on the back
pickpocket
of her mount. No, on the back of her mount, with expeditious retreat, she is sprinting in to grab the baby.
All right, so you get advantage on, let's say, animal handling because you're riding your mount. You're going to try to extract Ulysses from the middle of this fracas.
Yeah. Okay. 19.
You rolled a 4 and a 19. The 4 is...
Yeah, thank you. Advantage is great, Austin. I love when you give it to us.
Yeah, interestingly, I think I bring it up sometimes. Yeah, so the 4 is a Cymbeline steps in front of you when you're on your way to Ulysses, and then you Akira motorcycle slide your muskrat under it and grab Ulysses. At this point, the Cymbeline that was talking to you, there's 3. One blew gas in Rex's face, one you just slipped under, and the other one grabs DiCaprio's whole body in her mouth and flies away.
I can't turn into a fucking dragon without getting kicked out.
That's the case, yeah.
Oh, it just gives me stupid level 1 this whole arc. Unless, actually, wait, solution. I shout to my siblings, hey, transform, like, just now.
I'm high. I can't.
DiCaprio is specifically not. She is trying to distract these dragons so that you can escape.
Well, I've got the baby and I'm running.
Yeah, I think this worked. You rolled a 19. You can escape with Ulysses, Doc Hop, and Falconbridge can jump onto the back of your muskrat as you escape. You're fast. The Myconids are chasing you and so forth. But Rex, you are high and with euphoria gas and wander off, and DiCaprio are captured. So I think this is interesting because you have to make a conscious choice to leave them. They are both in serious danger.
I am going to make the choice to do so because this is the getting the baby out is the mission we've come for. And both of my siblings do have the ability to, if they transform, get magically booted out. And that seems like a very achievable aim for both of them. So Hop is going to take the fact that DiCaprio hasn't chosen to instantly transform as a sign of, okay, this is the plan. I'm supposed to take advantage of this chaos and get out.
I probably should have done that.
Absolutely.
No, I think this is interesting, though, because as you said, normally turning to your level 20 sheet is just a decision. You just say that to me. But I will say that you're completely justified in thinking that, Hop, but it becomes clear to your siblings that is actually not really an option. As Rex, you wander off into the woods and the Myconids follow after you, and you feel your will beginning to sap away as the spores kind of cloud your thinking, and you find your willpower is not what it once was. And the jaws of the Cymbeline wrapped around DiCaprio, their crushing power is obvious to you, and you think if you try to transform, your body will be mangled before you even got partway through that.
And worth noting, DiCaprio is not even considering transforming to get out of here.
I can't wait for Rex to go, actually, now I have a lot of sympathy for Hop and the fact that, like, it's actually quite scary to just be abandoned by your siblings while high, and that, like, maybe that's not a time to shout at them over the decisions they make while high.
Again, Rex's entire point is that he fucking hates Falconbridge.
Yeah, no, I get it. But yes, regardless of this, Hop is making the judgment call of, the plan is to get the baby out. I trust my siblings. They are competent. Let's not backslide on getting the baby out.
Aboard your dire muskrat, you run and you run and you run until the distant wing beats of the Cymbelines fade away, the distant shuffling of the Myconids. You follow the same tunnel that you recognized from before up until the surface of the Feywild, brighter, more creatures running around, little red caps and so forth. You find a moment to catch your breath. Lady Falconbridge slowly slides off the back of the muskrat and onto the ground, making a strange oof noise.
How are you holding up back there?
That was really fun. It was really colorful.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so great the bit where my siblings were in danger, but there were colours.
Yeah, my bad. I think this is my fault.
It might
I fucking
It
hate
might
Lady
a lit-
Falconbridge so much.
it might a little bit be your fault.
You don't even know why it's my fault, you silly goose.
I mean, you picked a fight with us that led to Rex telling the baby to run away, and that much is kind of your fault.
Oh, no, not that. I don't regret that at all.
No, Wobbits, okay.
I hate her
Wobbits, your
even more.
fault.
She's getting his baby in danger and she doesn't care.
No, I mean, I needed to take you in so that Desdemona would let me be a real dragon in Dragon Society. The thing I'm talking about is, you know how DiCaprio wanted the true name of the guy who robbed her, and then I got it for her?
Yeah.
But then she went behind my back to Viola and got it from her, so I fucking wasted that whole opportunity. Anyway, so no one knows, no one asked me, just everyone forgets old Falconbridge, how I got...
don't.
Oh, you're so sweet. Boop!
But continue. What's going on? What did you do?
How I got the Cymbeline's true name. I sent my minions out to get it, right? And they're goofs. I love them so much that they're not the smartest. And you know, the fairy dragons are so small and so fast, and they're annoying. So I had my minions bribe one with an item in exchange for the true name, and I think that item is really fucking us right now.
What was the item?
Okay, so a long time ago, there was a bunch of fancy, famous wizards, and they were getting their shit pushed in by dragons. They were really just getting wrecked. Like, dragons took over the whole world. We were so cool. But then the wizards made these big orbs. I guess they can change size. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. And the orbs could, like, summon dragons, and they used that to do ambushes. Wow, I feel really silly. And then that's why they killed a bunch of dragons. It's called the Dragon War. We almost all died. You know about that?
I'm vaguely aware.
Okay, well, most of the orbs were destroyed, but there's a couple left, and they're really big collector's items. And I thought, because I'm never a dragon, it would be fine if I had one, right? But the magic of the orbs is really corrupted, so not only do they summon dragons, but they can kind of control dragons and kill dragons. And it was making me sick in my house. It really gave me a tummy ache. So I was like, I just got to get rid of this thing. So I gave it to my minions to trade for the true name. And now the Cymbalines have it, and I think that's why we can't turn into dragons here without getting kicked out, because they're using it against us.
Okay, that's a lot to take in. Good that we know now. Is there, like, a loophole to it that you happen to know? Did you read the instruction manual and find, like, the hard reset code or whatever?
No, I think it's actually getting worse. I think the magic, because they're really old, right? I think it's getting weirder and stranger and stuff. I think you got to break it, or you're not going to be able to turn into a big dragon and fight the Cymbalines who took away your siblings.
Okay. Is this the kind of thing where if we follow the direction that makes our tummy ache, we can find it?
Probably. I'm hungry, though. Can we get something to eat first? Oh, it's called a Orb of Dragonkind. It's an Orb of Dragonkind. I can't say it. My tongue's so thick. Orb of Dragonkind.
Okay, we'll see if we can find some not making us high mushrooms along the way. I'm following the tummy ache.
I hate Falconbridge so fucking much.
Do you think Rex likes me?
I don't think Rex likes you.
Why? Is it because he's dating Viola? Because I fucking hate that bitch. She's so smelly. We should do something about her. Maybe then Rex would like me.
What do I need to roll to follow my tummy ache?
I think that's the episode. I think the next episode, the next part is the finale where you try to break the Orb of Dragonkind so your siblings can fight back. Otherwise, they're fucking toast.